Hi guys, welcome to another installment of D&J Baka Animations video. How are you guys doing? Hi guys.
Hi.
I'm Tadeja.
I'm Janae.
And this is, of course, Baka Animation Studios. And this is episode 2. So we decided as a team to record our next video being Squid Games.
Excited. Can't wait.
So let's get started.
Everybody know that's real popular on Netflix right now.
Oh yeah, I watched it. It was good.
Yeah, I liked it. Let's go ahead and get started.
Of course, as you know, everything that you see on this PowerPoint is not our own. It's owned by the creators of Squid Games and I think Netflix and whoever's a part of it. So, and another disclaimer, this is full of spoilers. So if you have not watched Squid Games and you was like, oh man, let me just watch this right here, please don't watch it.
Do not watch this if you have not watched Squid Game. If you're one of those type of people that don't like spoilers, this ain't it.
This ain't for you.
Look, go ahead, click off.
Hey, we still be here though, just to let you know. We still be here, but you gotta go.
Exactly.
But
you got a little Deok-Soo, that kind of rhymed a little bit.
See, I'm a poet. You didn't know I was a poet.
Yeah, oh, okay.
But anyways, so here's a synopsis. If you already watched it, I hope you watched it for you to stay on here. But if you haven't watched it and you wasn't planning on watching it, or you broke like me and just sharing it with somebody. So the basis of Squid Games is based out in South Korea, where you follow a bunch of people, well, a couple of people in the show that owe millions to billions of won. That's Korean money currency to loan sharks, gangsters, and everyone who they owe. And so the way they find these people is, I suppose they have like scouts or recruits out there that looks for them.
Or that man in that suit.
That fine man in that suit. You saw that first disclaimer. Ooh, wee boy. That's a whole nother story. So they play this little game and they somehow won a lot of money from that one game. And he'd be like, if you want more money than this, to pay off your debt or whatever, I got some games that you can sign up for and play. So they sign up and, they realize they are just, numbers in the same tracksuit. They explain the game. They play 6 games for a course of 6 days. And if you're out for whatever reason, you're just eliminated. And they realize when they are eliminated, they are killed.
Dead, shot, killed, everything up under the sun.
So the next slide, we're going to talk about the players that really hit a home run with me.
Now, I really like him. He was really good. I felt like he had a really good character. And, just a little spoiler, I feel as though that player 1, I feel like that's his dad. Because he even said that, oh, my son is allergic to dairy too.
Yeah,
and I'm like, that's kind of a coincidence. All of a sudden you allergic to dairy, he allergic to dairy. I was like, that's kind of I felt like that's one thing they was trying to point out, that he might be his father. Because I don't remember if they really said anything about his father before they gave that hint, but they really didn't talk about him until now.
Yeah, if you haven't known, this is I hope I pronounced his name right, but I tried my best when I was watching it. Like, this is Gi-Hun, player 456, and he's the last and final player that signed up for these games. And he won.
Yeah, he won, and I really felt happy for him, but I was kind of mad he didn't spend that money. But I was like, but at the same time, I understand. He was depressed. All his friends basically died. And, he's never going to see him again. And then the last part with the old man, he thought the old man died, but just to figure out that the old man was actually the headmaster of the whole thing.
Yeah.
So he's why everybody is dead. So I kind of feel him a little bit. But then at the same time, I kind of feel for the old man too, because he did die. But at the same time, you could have just told us that it was you that was the headmaster. Tell me something, I want to feel like a kid again.
But my first thought when I saw him, like that first scene where he was like eating, his mom was getting ready, before we figured out that, this lady had diabetes, like serious diabetes. And like he took the life insurance and they were talking about, it's your daughter's birthday today. Like, what did you get her? And he didn't get her nothing. I was like, you a deadbeat daddy.
For real. Basically, just like your damn daddy.
Just like gone. That dude disappeared.
Look, just like his daddy.
But
I'm still stuck on that part. He tells me, I just want to feel young again. You 96. What's he doing? You 96.
Like my thing was when I saw like his interactions with that old man, I felt so happy because I was like, I hope this man don't die. But let's get on.
I kind of felt like he would. Like when they did that green light, red light, or Simon Says or whatever, I was like, yeah, he done. He over with.
I was like, oh.
I said, he over here smiling. I said, yeah, it's over with for him.
But when old boy saved him, I was thankful when old boy Ali saved him. I was like, oh, he gonna hit that bullet. He's gonna test that metal. He's like, he grabbed on
but
to it.
Also with the old man, I kind of, what was I finna say? I done forgot.
Hey, save it, bro. Save it for the next slide.
I'm just saying, also with the old man, you know, I kind of felt like he had something to do with it because he was the only old person there, if you thought about it. Yeah, and I was like, why he the only old person? Everybody at least 30 or in their 40s, or maybe 20s. Well, all right, let's go to the next. Let me say some of this. Yeah, he a op. It was never his childhood friend.
When they played that second game, the honeycomb game,
and he knew what he was doing.
Like he knew what the game was when old girl was like, oh, they were heating up sugar. They were heating up sugar and they were stirring it in a pot. And he instantly knew what they was doing. But he was like, oh, we shouldn't, even though we're a team, we agreed. Even he agreed that, oh, we should be a team or whatever.
Yeah, then he gonna tell us something, don't forget about the team. But basically, fuck all that and forget about the teams. That's basically what he said.
What really got me was he told Gi-Hun to like, oh, it would be a good idea if we were at different little like shapes or whatever. And he knew having an umbrella was gonna be hard for him to like try to crack open perfectly. And he kept calling his name, and I was like, what are you calling his name for? Go ahead, say it, bro. Tell him to get in that circle with name Ali and call it a day.
He knew what he was doing. That's what I say. He had a strategy. There was always a plan to anything he did. There was always a strategy. He was always trying to eliminate. That's why I said that is not your childhood friend. You might well forget all that.
And I felt so bad. Like Ji-Hun was so proud of him. Like, oh, he went to SBU, that little college in South Korea, that good college.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, but you know what? Well, I know this not supposed to be funny. Like all this whole show is basically supposed to be serious. But I'm not gonna lie to you. It was funny when we got to that scene with his mom and she was preparing the squid for a customer. And she had his picture and she was like, oh, I want to, maybe if he's single or whatever, I could pair him with somebody. And she was like, no, my son got too much of a high standard. And then the cop showed up and said, oh, your son was supposed to be at court or he was arrested or something. Because of fraud and stuff. Yeah. I was like, no, stay on that scene. I want to know what old girl said. Stay on that scene.
No, he ain't no goody two shoe. No. And plus, when they got to what was that game? Was it the glass before the Squid game, or was it
It was the glass bridge game before it. Yeah.
That scene when the girl got her thing sliced up. What was her name? I can't remember now.
I think Sae-Byeok, but I know it's like player 67.
Yeah, with her, he killed her. He killed her with no hesitation. My thing is, you're telling the guards, like, oh, y'all need to help her. And he gonna leave the dude behind. Like, dude done killed her off.
Like, he knew he was an op. At that point in time, he knew he was an op.
He should have known it was all about the money for him. He didn't care about nothing else but the money. I felt like if he would have won, he wouldn't care. He wouldn't have gone into a deep depression like how he did.
He really wouldn't. He would have spent
not. I felt like he had no remorse for what he did.
He was horrible. Talking about, oh yeah, hide behind a person to win the red light, green light game. Granted, but in the end, it's just like these types of games, like these horror games and stuff like that. It tells you who you are as a person, like where you stand at.
I mean, you can call me an op too. I stand behind a person too. I mean, call me an op. I mean,
yeah, I hide behind somebody, but when it's like, oh, when it's dwindling down,
like a slim chance. Yeah. Yeah, let's go ahead and go to the next one.
My boy.
He got played.
This is Ali, player 99. I felt so sorry for him. Like,
he gave him all the damn marbles. I said, he played him.
No, what really had my heart out for Ali was when he called out to him like an animal calling out to their mom out in the freaking wild. Sang-Woo. I was like, oh,
he knew.
Oh my god!
I felt like he was real gullible for that.
He was. I can't. He was so sweet. He also deserved the money. I don't.
Yeah, I feel like he deserves it more out of anybody because the way he died, I just felt like he should never died like that because Marbles was what really fucked him up. He really played his ass.
He really did. Like, he should have known when Sang-Woo was on his knees begging, like, please don't let me die. He should have known, like, nah, bro, I don't. Yeah, you lost fair and square. I said I didn't know this game, and I meant what I said. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. I did not know this game. It was just pure luck. Bless his soul. R.I.P. Ali.
For real.
My boy, the creator, basically the creator of the Squid Games, Mr. Il-nam, player 1.
Mm-hmm, yeah. I already said enough about him because, like I said, I just didn't like how he only went back to the Squid Game just so he can relive his younger life.
But when he started having that dementia in that marbles game, I started to like really wonder, okay, are you having selective dementia, or like are you choosing to use the dementia in your advantage?
I feel like with people like him, he abuses the dementia just so people can feel sorry for him, so people won't hate him. I feel like he uses that and so people won't hate him. Like he really does remember stuff, but he uses it so people will be like, oh, I feel sorry for him because he was old. No, I don't.
Because at the beginning, I was like, why is he here? You have at least, I guess, one of the oldest people there.
He was the only older person. I would have been said something about that.
But besides him, like I think like Ji-Hun was like in his late or early 40s.
Yeah.
But like, why shouldn't it, like, no offense or anything, but shouldn't he already have paid his debt to these people if he did owe money to people?
Well, you got to think about it. People still gamble, people still do all that stuff. So of course it would have been, of course he might still owe debt. And I mean, how long does it take to clear a debt anyways, depending on how much it is?
I'm just saying, he's
I mean, this is like with older people who's in their 60s who go to casino and then be a hell of debt because they be gambling. I mean, yeah, people can pay off their debt, but he can also regain that debt back by gambling and doing other stuff.
I thought he learned the first time, literally. But anyways, next. She's another person that should have. She's another person that should have won. She really.
I like her.
I felt sorry for her.
I really did. She's so beautiful. She's such pretty. A beautiful Asian woman. I will tell you that right there. She is a beautiful Asian woman.
She really, she stole the show. Even though it wasn't even about her for real.
She stole the show.
When she pulled out that pocket knife, that I guess a switch knife on.
Yeah, when she was trying to hide it from him or whatever, and she put it in his pocket, and then she put it back. I was like, yeah, she's sneaky. I like that. She had that anime.
Especially when I think she was up in that little, what you call them, a truck, the little van, and they had that little amnesia, and she was ducked off. She somehow
somehow didn't get it or whatever. Yeah,
I was like, she is literally playing their tails.
Yeah, she's good, and she's a good pickpocketer. Yeah, she's good at that, and she looked like an anime character.
But she looked pretty though. She should have won. She looked good in that suit though. I was like, oh girl, you look good in that suit. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I was just sad that she died because of the glass shards.
I felt sorry for her. I was like, she should have not died by dang Sang-Woo. That really made me upset, like for real though. I ain't gonna lie to you. But next. Oh, I felt sorry for her. Even though she only had like a couple episodes with her, I felt sorry for her.
I don't remember who this is. She wasn't in that for that long. I remember her when she was in that tug of war.
Yeah, but I felt really sorry for her when she played with the last character. I think I don't know if I pronounced her name wrong. Like Sae-Byeok. I think player 67. I felt when she was playing with that marbles game, and she was like, she was explaining her life and how horrible it was and how she was in, I think, jail for a long time. And then how she got in this game was when she assumed like one of her dad's debt collector would come in and gave her a card thinking they would get some money out of her, but really they would just wanted her to play. And she was like, well, if I get the money, to be quite frankly honest, I don't know what I do with it because I don't know where to go. Yeah. So she risked her life. She knew that her player 67 was trying to get her brother out that foster home or home shelter for kids or whatever. And that she was going to go to Juju Island or somewhere. I was like, girl.
She wasn't in there long enough for me to remember.
I felt so sorry for her.
I felt bad for her. Even though she was in the first game and the second game, but still.
She had a horrible life. I was like, look at that smile. She did not deserve that. Well, even though she through her tears, I was like, she did not deserve a bullet to the head like that. Come on.
Oh, yeah. They did an executional style. They did not care.
I was like, This man, Deok-Soo,
he was thinking about was sex. That's all he wanted to do.
When he grabbed old girl in the bathroom, I was like, don't y'all know in like horror movies and survival stuff like this, you should not be having sex in the bathroom?
All he was thinking about was sex. That's all he wanted.
He was, you know what? He was killing people on and out of the game.
He really was. Because when that scene, I think it was one of those scenes where it was late at night and they just had a riot out of nowhere.
He went after that girl. He went after that girl that snitched on him. He was like, oh, you the one that snitched. I got you. Like, oh no.
I did not like him. And he just thought he was better than everybody, which he wasn't. He was not smart at all.
No.
Did he die? He didn't die in the tug of war one. Did he die with the glass?
Yeah, he died with Mi-Nyeo, the next girl after this slide.
Yeah, because I think they went down together.
Yeah, she grabbed him. I guess she was so upset that he wasn't giving her some type of attention or whatever. She said, I'm about to out both of us out. If I can't have you, nobody can.
Booty to him. Next one. I like this her.
Mi-Nyeo, I like her character. It's just the English voice acting for her. It was
it was not just for her. It was everybody. I said, this is throwing me off.
But some of them were good. I only say with her, when it comes down to her yelling and stuff like that, I was like, girl, just die already. No offense. No.
The part that got me when she was about to pee in the front of that door, I said, ooh. I said, she better not do it. And then he said, fine, come on.
I don't know how she stashed a pack of cigarettes. That's another thing we're going to talk about.
You got to think about, she put it in the condom, then she put it up her vagina.
Yeah, but I was like, how are you able to keep that up there for how many hours? Really?
She must be real skilled at that, because, there's some people who do that. Yeah.
I was like, girl, but she was annoying, and I was kind of glad she died. I was like, yeah, it's time for you and old boy to get out anyways. Yeah, kiss it goodbye.
I'm dead.
Next.
Yeah, he was the one of the guards. He I think he killed the guard, and then he ended up being one of the guards. So I didn't really pay much attention to that. I mean, I pay attention to the scene of like how they was living and all that stuff, and how they have a little thing to tell them to get up and go to work every day. I mean, I understand all that, but I mean, he was kind of one of those characters that you didn't really much care about. I mean,
I cared about him.
It was a suspense, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I say he was a police officer. Like, I say he's very clever for a police officer to get away with some of the stuff they did. But it also kind of questioned me, like, so you have a whole bunch of millionaires, billionaires, and quadrillionaires in this building that basically created this whole game to kill off people who had debts. Mm-hmm. And y'all didn't pay a lot of money for some high-tech security. Now, there was a couple times they saw him.
Yeah.
And he got
not even that. They had cameras in the room, so they seen who he was. They would have automatically known, like, hey, that ain't the person that we seen yesterday.
Like, that was really crazy how he was able to get past that.
Yeah, man. Hey, it is what it is. A lot of stuff you can slip through. He went through the loophole. I'm just saying he went through the loophole because they must didn't care about that other guard. They must thought they hired somebody new. And then he ain't getting no type paycheck either. So
those people out there that was doing this. So how much they get paid? Were they a part of this too? Like, were they a part of the games as well?
What was the reason? Like, what kind of like, what were you gaining from shooting people in the head or killing people for not playing the game right? I mean, there was no gain for it. We'll just have to see with season 2.
And then we got these. They were the most ruthless type people. Oh,
they got them damn PlayStation symbols on their damn face. Damn circle, square, X, triangle.
Like, that kind of made me curious. I was like, y'all have all this stuff. So how do y'all get away with people who were in debt and they somehow died in these games? Did you think that these people, they were scums anyways? Nobody ain't gonna think about them really.
Yeah, most likely. When people owe a debt and they just miraculously end up missing, people don't look for them. Because one thing they said that he was in debt and loan sharks probably killed him off.
Yeah, but I was kind of curious. That's one of the questions that's going to be on the slide.
People who are in debt, most people who are in debt don't really like how they was looking rough before they got there.
Yeah.
Most of them look like that, rough, stressed out, don't know what to do, how they going to come up with the money. It's pretty much desperate. So they'll do anything. So that's probably why they think nobody's looking for them, because they probably was desperate for some money and they out getting it somewhere.
Yeah, but I want to understand. They never explained the rankings, the true rankings of these guards.
He said, why are you talking? Your superior didn't tell you to talk. Who the hell is the superior?
Shoot, I just see folk in squares.
Squares, circles, triangles.
A black face mask. Ain't that Blackfisher?
All red suit.
Ain't that Blackfisher? He got a black mask on. Ain't that? Hey, I'm not trying to say cancel the man. I just want y'all to look into it.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying. Hey, don't blame me. But next. Okay, so these are the games that were played. Like, so how did you feel about each game itself? Like, did you feel like, you could have won certain games, or
I could have won that red light, green light, that honeycomb, I would have died. And my ass impatient. That tug of war, I definitely would have died. I would have got rope burns on my damn hand. I would have let them go. But one thing I noticed that what they could have done in tug of war, the last person could have did an anchor.
Oh yeah, that's what somebody said on YouTube. I forgot the YouTube channel that said that they could have anchored it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even have to watch YouTube to get that. I said they could have had an anchor, because you're allowed to have, because in I think tug of war is like an Olympic game they used to have. Maybe they used to have an anchor. That's what we used to do when we was in elementary school. When we used to play tug of war, we used to have an anchor.
Oh, we didn't do that.
Or somebody, so in case everybody starts slipping, you got that one person in the back that can still hold. And then I also seen, now this one I seen on YouTube, they could have tied it to the pole because they didn't have any rules.
Oh, that's the same thing too. Yeah,
they could have tied it to a pole. And they could have did it like that because they really didn't have no rules.
Yeah.
Now one thing I want to go ahead and skip the marbles. So we already talked about that. I feel bad for them folks. I want to talk about the glass bridge. That glass maker, he should have shut the hell up.
Oh, he really should have.
He should have never said nothing because he ended up dying anyways.
Like, oh.
I said, look here.
Especially when Sang-Woo was behind him. I was like, hey, bro, just shut up. Just be quiet.
He said, I can tell which one is I think he said he could tell which one. I think it was like the thinness or the thickness of it or something like that.
Like, he said something about how the light will reflect. I think, how light reflect on it.
I think they used like a penny or something to bounce off of it, or a marble. I think it was a marble.
Yeah, that's when they turned the lights off. So he couldn't tell which one's the actual temporal glass and which one was the actual real glass.
Yeah, I felt sorry for that first person. He died immediately. Yeah, I said the glass maker should have said something at first hand, but he died anyway. So I thought that was just stupid.
I was like,
now one thing I will say about the Squid game, I've never seen anybody play that game.
That was my first time ever.
Ever seen an actual? I didn't even know the Squid game was actually a game itself. I thought it was just a show.
Yeah, I thought it was just some random, like a symbolism, like a squid was supposed to symbolize something.
Right, but one thing I will say about the Squid Game that I saw on YouTube, if he would have stand right there between the triangle or right next to the circle in the where the square is, he could have probably won because he could have been sitting there with a knife and could have stabbed him or whatever.
Yeah, but
I mean, there was so many ways he could have won that and also lose at the same time. He would have had a disadvantage and an advantage.
I think my thing was with the Squid Games. I'm gonna explain how I feel about each game, but since we're talking about the Squid Games, like Sang-Woo didn't really have to die. But the thing about it is
his pride got to him. He was like, you know what? I don't want to live anymore. Basically, because he lost.
My thing is like I said, Sang-Woo didn't really have to die. If Gi-Hun would have just got up and when he was down, it was already raining anyways. If you're on the ground,
you made this seem like this.
I was like, if you're already on the ground and it's raining, you're gonna have a hard time getting back up anyways.
Exactly.
So might as well should have just got up and just walked to the circle and won the game. Not Ji-Hun, Sang-Woo didn't.
What's his name was already talking to the guard saying, I don't want us to die or whatever.
You could have just walked. I don't think they would have shot him if you would have just walked. Well, they probably would have shot him, but
it is what it is at that point.
But my thing, like with the red light, green light game, I think that was a good game to introduce the show to. Like, oh, this is easy and stuff like that. Let's just
that first guy, that dude with that honey blonde hair, he died.
What I told you on that phone when I was watching, it's always the one that want to joke around and play that always die first.
I said, yeah, that's what he get. Everybody telling some, and then next you know, everybody else died.
I started laughing. I ain't gonna lie to you. I started laughing when he started.
But then I also see on YouTube to tell my son they could have took advantage of like the shady side instead of the sunny side.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, I heard a lot about that, but I ain't gonna go into detail because I don't know the math behind that. But it was like they could have really took advantage of the shady side. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I felt like this was the better advantage, anyways. Just stop it instead of trying to do all that tech shit. I just felt like you could have just did a red light, green light. If you die, you die.
My intake on the honeycomb game, my only issue was I literally I have two issues now. The hand that you see playing scratching out the star honeycomb is Il-nam, and I said, oh Lord, he's gonna die. I was like, oh yeah,
the pointers would have killed my ass. Them pointy,
but another thing was, like I said about the Squid Game guards, they invested so much time and money on this stuff. I was like, so you tell me you did not realize that Mi-Hyun had a whole dang lighter and she was literally burning that needle to a crisp.
Yeah.
And
like I said, they didn't have any rules for real.
Yeah, they didn't have any rules, but she should have died. I mean, you telling me you can't see from the right and left side of the slide that she was in. Come on now.
Yeah.
She should have got popped immediately. I'm sorry. She should have got popped.
Yeah, when I saw that first guy died, I said, yeah, it's over for him.
On that slide, I was like, ooh.
Down the slide like this. I was like,
oh.
I said, yeah, it's over with for him.
My take on the tug of war game, I think, the same thing. I mean, they could have really used, I think the plan that they used were good. I can't say too much.
The strong against the weak. I didn't like that.
Yeah, but survival of the fittest.
Disadvantage.
I was like survival of the fittest. But the marbles game, that is the one I was kind of like, maybe they could have both won. I had to probably watch it again to see what the instructions were. I don't know how many marbles you're supposed to have, but it seemed like 20 from what Sang-Woo gave in. But I felt like both of those people could have won. Like if
the marbles game was easier to die than any other game in here. Because I felt like I said with Ali, that was horrible. I don't even want to talk about the marbles. I hate the marbles.
But the thing about it was that marbles game actually kind of made me upset because you remember like the couple that was like in the game, it was like a husband and wife, and they played against each other, and of course the wife died and the only person that lived was the husband. He was like, oh, we should stop playing the game. We should stop playing the game. No, you and your wife knew that if y'all both play, eventually one of y'all was going to die either way. Right. Y'all had the opportunity to think about it, to rethink about it again and be like, man, I don't know. Maybe, since I'm the husband, I'll go out there and I'll risk my life to get this money for us so we can both pay off this debt instead of having both of y'all up in there and doing that. And the glass bridge, like you said, that little glass maker, he should have said nothing. If he would have kept his mouth closed and tried to pretend like he was trying to figure it out, like he got some kind of strategy of his own.
Yeah.
Because basically
I would never say anything.
Basically, to me, the glass bridge game is basically like a memory game. And Gi-Hun was already going to lose because he was too busy worried about Il-nam and how he died back there. But I already said how I felt about number 6, Squid Game. So next. And this the part of the slide, like the major spoilers of the slides that I kind of wanted to talk about. That I figured out either by watching a YouTube video or
mostly I figured out by watching YouTube videos of like other people, like Squid Games Explained or the ending explained. I basically watched all those.
Or how you could have won that YouTube video, how you could win each of the Squid Games games. Like in episode 2, did you know that during the episode when they went back home, that they were like foreshadowing how each character except for Gi-Hun was going to die?
Yes. I'm trying to remember episode 2.
Like when they all voted to go back home.
Oh yeah.
Like Sang-Woo was going to off himself out because you can't say the S word on YouTube, but he was going to off himself out in that bathtub. And then you got player 67. She held a knife to someone's throat and she died by Sang-Woo killing her with a knife, a kitchen knife. Then you got Ali. He died by the bag because he took a bag of money from his boss that wasn't going to pay him. Deok-Soo, he died because of he jumped off the bridge and in episode 2, and he jumped off. Well, he got pulled down from that bridge. Then the red light, green light game with the old man, if you looked at him, like the robot didn't even scan him. It was green. And so since he was next to the lady, that's how she was safe, because she was next to him. And Jun-Ho's older brother, In-Ho, he oversaw the games. I was like, wow.
That's crazy. I
didn't know, but I kind of figured though, since they had his name in one of the filings of the games, because these games been happening for years, so this wasn't nothing new.
Yeah, it really has. So that's one thing I did like. I mean, not like, but that's one thing I did notice, that it's been happening for a long time. And you telling me all these people went missing and nobody ever thought to say, oh, where did they go? Last time I heard they were playing a game. You know what I'm saying? They never thought that was, a problem. Yeah, but I think the reason why they didn't make it a problem because all the people that were missing were in debt.
Yeah. And then like at the end of the games, like when somebody died, they would like remove the bump bags, and it literally showed like the people, what the next game or what the previous game they were going to play.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, wow, that's interesting. Wow, it literally tells you what the next game is.
I was like, wow, that's interesting. That's cool.
That's interesting. That's cool.
Look at you, bro. And these are my questions that I came up with for like season 1. I was like, so, of course, I think we talked about it when we was on the first slide with Ji-Hun, but I kind of figured, I always wondered, why was he so, like, Il-nam was so attached to Ji-Hun? Like, to the point where Ji-Hun was literally like the last person he talked to and seen before he died.
I think that was really his dad. But that's a question we'll have for season 2. We'll have to see in season 2. And man gonna dye his hair red. I said, what they supposed to do?
I didn't really like that cut on him for real. I thought he was about to go. I thought he was about to hit me with that smooth. Oh, I'm a sexy dad now that I got this money. When
he saw that businessman, I said, yeah, he finna get him.
I was like, ooh.
He said, what did he give you? What did he give you?
And then the next question I had like for this season was like, since they had like American people, these awful American people in the show, I wondered, did they have Squid Games in America and possibly in the other countries too, or How did that work if they did have this?
I thought it was South Korea.
I thought so too, but then they had like American people, and they said these were the best games that I think they had or something like that. And I was like, so you told me they had one in America too? But the next question I had was the selling body parts of like the killed players. Like, is that how they got the money to give to these people who won the game?
Something else, that black market, something else. They might be doing that, but they never revealed what they did with their body. Pretty much put them in a coffin.
Yeah, they put them up in a coffin. Some if they I think if they sign like a special like waiver or somehow that if they died.
I doubt these folks signed a waiver because nobody signed a waiver to get killed.
They didn't know about it. Cause like Ji-Hun signed his life over to it.
They ain't gonna sign no waiver.
But if you had gangsters like Ji-Hun coming after you and they beat you up in the bathroom, then yeah, you will sign.
I don't know about that one.
Come on, man.
I don't know about that question.
Man, come on, man.
Kind of far-fetched to me.
Nah, this sounds real fetched.
It sounds far-fetched. I don't know. Oh, next question.
Yeah, next question. But either way, they did something.
No.
Okay. No. So either way, so anywho, allegedly, I wonder.
Allegedly.
I wonder what happened to if Il-nam had lost the game during like maybe like I say like. I wouldn't say the red light, green light game because that was already in his favor.
Yeah, but like, all of it was in his favor because if you think about with the marbles, he didn't even get killed. He should have they just faked the shot.
Yeah, but like I'm talking about like out in front of like people like the tug of war or like the honeycomb game.
The thing is, his old ass shouldn't have been doing tug of war anyways. He wasn't doing them much.
So
anyway.
I mean, how would they fake his death if he did die like in the honeycomb game in front of other people?
They would have did it. They would have figured out another way, especially with the creator who wrote this or directed. They would have did it another way. That would, but they wanted to make it to where I think I don't know how to explain. They just wanted to make it to where it was easy for people, so a lot of people won't ask questions like this.
I just want to know. Next question was during that time that Il-nam and Ji-Hun was playing like the marbles games, like when he was walking around talking about, oh, this is what my house looked like, this is what my neighborhood looked like. Did he really have like a dementia episode, or was he just faking it to probably drag out?
Honestly, I think he designed that marbles thing to look like his house, so he probably was dead serious about that, and people just thought he was crazy.
I thought he had like another dementia episode, but until I figured out that he was like the creator of this type of game to kill these people that were in debt, then they brought out that question: did he really have dementia for real, or was he like dragging it out so he can probably explain to Ji-Hun that, oh, I'm the creator of this game or something,
right?
So I don't know, but my next question was like, with that food fight in that scene, I think it was like the third episode, like when they were playing that honeycomb game,
when they had run out of food.
Yeah, like would a fight really would have break out if
Deok-Soo wouldn't allow that?
Because the thing was, they said they made like enough food for everybody, and then I was thinking, okay, so Deok-Soo and his friends, they had like seconds from what it seemed like. They had seconds, unless they had thirds, but I'm assuming in this case they had seconds on these deviled eggs or boiled eggs that they had in a little Sprite. It was a Sprite. It wasn't no water. It was Sprite.
I thought it was water.
It came in a green bottle like it would in a Sprite commercial. So I was like, oh, so this is Sprite. But the thing was, still, what a fight would have broke out if they didn't had got seconds for the food. But I don't think they would.
No.
I don't know.
I don't know about that one either. That's why I said nah. Like, I don't think so.
I think y'all probably heard me say it throughout this video. The next question was, all that money, all that secret, all the money, all the secret location. You telling me y'all could not find this man, Jun-Ho, in this building? All these cameras. And all these secret doors.
Y'all saw him in the room. Y'all have cameras in the room.
like he wasn't even hot, and then his phone lit up. Like when he hid his head in that blanket. So you tell me you don't see the light of that phone coming out that blanket? Yeah, get out of here, bro.
Watching the cameras for real.
I don't know who was watching the cameras. I don't know. But my thing was, how did Jun-Ho's older brother, became the overseer of the Squid Games? I want to know. That was a good question.
Hopefully they reveal that in season 2.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things that I most definitely didn't understand. So you told me all these people went to this island and nobody saw them get back off? Only one person?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of questions and they need to answer it in season 2 if they want another special on Netflix.
Oh, she got serious.
If they want another special, because about the director, they said that he been trying to get this Squid Games on not Netflix, but on HBO Max or
any other streaming.
Yeah, and they kept denying him. They said they've been denying him for years, and now
12 years to be
Netflix. 20 years?
No, 12 years.
12 years.
I think 12 years from what I heard.
And then he finally got the special on Netflix. I mean, always go with Netflix. If you're doing a corny show, if you think your show is corny, go with Netflix. Netflix gonna take it.
Look at Kissing Booth. They got a third movie and it sucked.
I don't like it. I like the first one. That was it.
Kissing Booth sounds stupid. That should have been made in 2005 when the literal Kissing Booth was actually hot back in the day, or maybe like in the late 90s.
Nobody does kissing booths no more. COVID out here. Nobody do kissing booths.
Well, they was up on that shit. They were doing all that crap. Man,
okay.
Next slide. So these are my questions for season 2.
Long ass PowerPoint.
Okay.
Just saying. I made questions for season 2. Next time I'm making a damn PowerPoint.
Do it.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, now that Il-nam's dead, and we already know he had a son. So is that son possibly Gi-Hun going oversee another installment of these games? Or because at the end, Ji-Hun was walking back from that plane, and I was kind of upset he wasn't gonna see his daughter. He already a deadbeat anyways. You should have went to see your daughter, but anyways. Is he gonna who gonna oversee these games now? Does it get passed down for somebody?
Mm-hmm.
My next question is Jun-Ho really dead? Because what I realized in this game, in this show, that they paid really close.
The game out? Let me play that. No. They probably got it on a PlayStation with all them damn symbols they got on there.
Nah, but I wonder, because they pay special details to certain things. Like if you see somebody die, you literally see how they die, especially from the doctor, the shady doctor. I should have added him to the slide. The shady doctor and everybody else, you saw how they died. But we didn't really see Jun-Ho and how he really died. So I wondered, when he fell off the cliff, did he just so happen to stumble upon some kind of land, or a random boat was out there?
And did he really die? They just basically left us with a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know what happened to him. We don't know, because, a lot of people who jump off a cliff or fall off a cliff really don't die unless they hit a rock. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Some of them don't die.
Yeah. And then I think I saw bubbles. But anyways, next question that relates to the last question. Before Jun-Ho supposedly died, he sent his boss a couple messages of the videos he caught while playing as a guard during these Squid Games, people dying and stuff like that. I wonder, did the boss get it, or will somehow Ji-Hun will work with the cops in order to get this game over with, completely disbanded or whatever. And I hope in the next season, if they do get signed, I think they were signed to a next season, that they can explain the meaning, the rankings behind these dudes in the mask, like the square, the X, and stuff like that. And like I said with the last 2 questions, that this show paid very close attention to details, and they kept mentioning, I counted, I think about 2 times they talked about Cat's Cradle in the Elastic Games. I wonder, would that be in season 2? Another thing is about Ji-Hoon's flashbacks when he was during that mechanic strike, because we knew he was like one of the workers at a car dealership, like auto shop, where they mass produce like I think parts, and they had it. So I was wondering, maybe will we see that again, or was that just a one-time thing?
Yeah, just a one-time thing, and they'll just never show it again. I hate it. Sometimes I hate it when shows do that, do a one-time thing and then never do it again, and then you actually want it again.
Yeah,
like, it's just, I hate that.
And another thing is the second to last question is, how do you become an overseer of the games? Like, do you have to be like a winner like In-ho and Ji-Hoon in order to become this? Or
like, you do have to be a winner, but like I said, that's season 2 need to answer some questions. Like you said, with ranking, how does it work? You know, how do you become an overseer? Do you have to apply for it on Indeed, or
she said on Indeed,
snag a job, or
shoot, I like to sign up. I'm like, shoot, where do I put?
Do I have to go to www.squidgamesoverseer.com?
Yeah, do I have to sign up? Do I do it some kind of interview or something? Let me know.
It's just how do you get to that position? How do you be a superior? Like what you said about the ranking. How do you be a superior for that ranking, for the X square or all that stuff? How do you even get to be one of those people?
Because it seems to me like with both of these both of those questions I asked, like the ranking and how you become it seemed like you could start out from a young age, because when one of the guys I think it was, I forgot which episode it was, but it was like some kind of young man, he took his mask off and he died, but before he died, you could see that he was like a teenager, like he was probably like 19 and 20. So how did he become this? Like his life just started, really. So he don't got no debt, unless I don't know. Next slide. And the last slide is Squid Game worth the watch?
It is.
It is.
It's most definitely worth to watch. If you like kind of like elimination games, this is most definitely one of them you can watch. And plus, you'll probably fall in love with the characters before you like the show anyways.
Yeah, I think it's somewhat the same as Alice in Borderlands. I watched that too, and I was like,
that is very similar. I'm starting to, I was kind of like copyright a little bit, I don't know why this is so different. Basically the same if you think about it, except that Alice in Wonderland came out in what, 2020, and came out this year?
I think a year after. Because
maybe it's by the same director, because like we said, he was trying to get Squid Games on there for like what, 12 years?
Yeah, probably so.
And maybe he might have made Alice in Wonderland, which is basically the same thing as that, except if being like over 100 people is like 4.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Like, I just feel like it has a lot of similarities right there, but I don't know if it's the same by the same people.
Yeah, but if you like these survival games where people betray each other, people get shot up,
backstabbing, friendship over with, y'all could be childhood friends, but at the end of this, you won't be.
Yeah, so I think that'll be it for this episode. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching. Come back. We will try to post every Wednesday or every Tuesday at least, but we just hope y'all like it.
Like, comment, share, hit the subscribe button hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can always be sure to know when we upload.
Also subscribe to our Wattpads, because we just started that. Started being writers.
Writers.
She will put the link in the description for y'all.
Yes, I will. So thank you. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, that was good. You still recording?
Yeah. Either way, it doesn't matter.
You got to cut that out.